Mark out Mania. Mark out Mania. It's Saturday morning and we're marking out on Mark out Mania.
We must apologize because Pedro was not able to conquer the Boingo Boingo song of Elevator Man for this week.
I was just about to ask. I was like, yo, hold on.
Yeah, it was
it's a really funky, weird song.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to Danny Elfman and Oingo Boingo? You know,
I messed around with the Dead Man's Party, and I was like, I want to do this in the future, but I gotta have some time. I got some time for this.
That's a good song at Dead Man's Party. That's a good song.
I know.
Well, the whole album is good.
Oh yeah.
Away from me.
But before I understood what pirating was, like my sister, when I was in college, my sister would like send me pirated cassettes from the Philippines.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like they would look just almost perfect, but she's like, yeah, these cost like $3. She's like, there's no way they're real. Yeah.
I remember when I used to have this.
Oingo Boingo is one of the. She sent me like Oingo Boingo and B-52s and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s stuff.
I used to have a blank 90-minute cassette inside my boombox. I'd wait for the songs to come on so this way I could record them. That was cool.
Yeah, on the radio?
Yeah, on the radio.
I have a ton of mixtapes like that.
Please don't talk over the song, Mr. DJ. Please don't talk. And sure enough, he talks. You can have this now. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
I got loads of those, yeah.
Hey, Melissa in the chat.
Hey, Melissa, hola. Welcome to the Mark Out Mania.
What's going on, Melissa? How the hell are you?
You've been working for the weekend.
It has been.
I used to put the tape in the boombox, and I would wait for hours until they finally play a song that I would record, and then the fucking DJ would talk over it and just piss me off, and then I ruined the cassette. I had to rewind the cassette. I had to record over it blank. This way, it was a headache.
Did y'all have any like college radio around you?
Yeah. East Carolina had a station.
We had a few college radio stations that we had access to, and like some of them would play insane shit. So we got exposed to all kind of crazy shit that way. And you tape that stuff.
Yeah. And it's really funny too, is like I knew one of the guys who was like he got to do like 6 to 10 in the morning on Saturday or Sunday. Is like, one of those days where nobody's listening.
Yeah.
And like he would bring a milk crate of his own records to play.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
And I think he gave me some stuff from the station there that he probably shouldn't have given me, but hey.
I had a mint green boombox. Nice, Melissa. Nice.
Oh, that's nice. My oldest sister worked at a radio station for a while, and they used to get those. You remember the Casey Kasem's Top 40?
Yeah.
She would bring the records home. Like I didn't even know they were like, I was a kid. I didn't know they were like on records, and they would bring them home, and we would have these records of like, whatever episode of the Casey Kasem. There'd be multiple discs or whatever to each episode, and you'd be like, whoa, like
it's kind of hot.
Nice. My brother was bagging groceries. He moved back home when I was still in like high school, and he was putting groceries in this woman's trunk, and she had a whole crate, like a big wooden crate full of albums, and my brother's like, he's like, can I buy these off of you? And she's like, no, you can take them, because I was just going to take them to to Goodwill, and so it was like a lot of, stuff that was for radio station only.
Yeah, all the promos.
Yeah, and it's some really great stuff. Some Rolling Stones and Heart, and all kinds of other stuff. And I didn't have a boombox. I had a a stereo. It was like one of those all-in-one pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Zeus. Yeah,
right. And like and it had a cabinet and 2 speakers, and I had a turntable. I had a turntable, a tuner, and 2 cassette decks, so I could record from either a record or another tape.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So yeah, I was doing all that shit too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and like, me and my best friends, we were of the school of, you buy the LP, and then you make a copy onto tapes. That way, you still got a pretty much a mint condition, LP, and you can, and then you just, you have a cassette to play in your car stereo, and it was like,
yeah.
I think finally my friend Steven, he was the first of us to get a car, and he got an Alpine.
That was the shit back then. Alpine and Block Punk, I was like, oh my God, you got an Alpine?
Yeah, he got the Alpine, and he wanted, and he got the Alpine, and then he mowed lawns, so he had money, and then he went back to the same place and was like, hey man, I want an amp, and they were like, okay, cool. Well, Steven's car was like a 1974 Dodge Dart, swinger, the 2-door, and so like they were like, when we went to pick it up, they were like, yeah, we had to mount it on the back of your back seat because we don't have a drill bit that could drill into the metal of the of the base of your trunk because it's so fucking thick.
Nice. I was a walking cliche. I had a Trans Am. I had the T-tops. I had the Block Punk stereo. It was pumping out Winger and Run DMC. There you go.
Wow.
It was brutal.
Wow, Melissa still does mixed CDs.
I thought I was the shit, Melissa. I was like, yeah.
You were Punch.
Yeah, I was Punch.
But yeah, that's those were the days. But James, did you get to listen to any of the MMM show last night?
Yes, no, I didn't listen to last night because I had to listen to the first show they did coming back. I did that marathon.
Well,
that was like a 9-hour show.
Yeah. Well, last night they had Hijo del Fantasma on.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they had him there live, and Meef was, he was squealing like a schoolgirl. He was so excited, he was losing his shit.
I think Meef's underwear was moist.
What's really funny is that he did not have the blank mannequin behind him for the first time in a while. I was like, I would try not to creep him out too much because he's going to the UK this year.
Yeah,
he's booked there this year. So,
I'm sure Meef is going crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He called him his special little operative and all that. It was great. Yeah, but yeah, he's like, he's pretty non-committal. I mean, there's a lot of places for him to go. And he said that and they talked about. They said that AAA, wishes him well, and he's like, I'm not burning any bridges with them. He's like, it's just time for me to go.
And any particular reason why he was leaving, or he just said it's time?
I think he felt like his time.
Yeah.
I mean, plus they weren't booking him well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to the interview too, and he basically said, that it was just time to go.
I mean, he should stay away. He should definitely stay away from WWE. Because all he'll do, he'll get lost in the shuffle.
He seemed open to it.
That'd be a mistake. It'd be a mistake.
Well, that's the thing is trying to figure out where he, like, that's what I've been, racking my brain is where is he going to fit best? And,
well, he did good when he was in Impact for a little while. He wasn't bad when he was in Impact. I mean, he could stop there. He could go to AEW maybe.
I wouldn't put anyone to Impact if I could help them. I'd be like, no, don't go. To
Memphis said. Well, I shouldn't say maybe what Memphis said, but Memphis said that that maybe Impact is a little stingy with money when it comes to Hijo del Fantasma.
Really?
That he may have said that, but Impact is starting to fill up with people. I mean, they're starting to get like a good full roster. And
but the roster don't mean dick, Zeus. If you can't book them right, it don't mean who. It doesn't. I have no desire to watch Johnny Impact or Brian Cage. I want to see Johnny Mundo and the Machine. That's what I want to see.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is they're kind of crowded for him to go to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And because I don't see them propelling him toward the top where he needs to be. I think he kind of needs to go somewhere where he can, kind of, get into that top, that upper part of the card, pretty close to right away, if not absolutely right away.
That is the big problem for him, isn't it? I mean, where does this happen? It's not going to happen in WWE. It's not going to happen in AEW because you got the Elite, like you got that blockade.
Well, not just that is AEW with AEW back in bed with AAA,
right?
With that going on, that's he's kind of. He's back being, still working with Dorian again.
How about CMLL? Is that an option for him?
That's an option. That might be the best option.
Yeah, he's been there before, so.
Yeah.
Right, and it's been a while. It's been quite a while.
It has been a while, yes, but I mean that's how I first saw him was in CMLL.
Yeah, and that was a revelation when he said that he and
Tejano.
No, Cien Andrade were a tag team, and they were a tag team together in CMLL.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah,
is he able to use the King Cuerno gimmick outside of Lucha Underground or no?
I don't think
so. I don't think so. Not at all.
Okay,
that's not the impression I got. I didn't. I don't feel that's going to be an option because,
Yeah, because the way Cobra Moon was using it on Mile, I was like, okay.
Well, that's a Mark Burnett deal. Yeah. Part of LU, and and plus, I'm sure that's to kind of keep her happy and working and earning money, while she's trying to work through her part.
Yeah.
Hey, Angie.
Yeah, shout out to Angie.
What's up, Ange? Opening day, 5 days away.
But now here's another question:
should have done a baseball song,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we can just do "Don't Stop Believing" again.
Oh my God.
No, but if not CMLL, Ring of Honor.
Oh
yeah. I can see him in Ring of Honor. Yeah,
but here's the problem with that, Zeus. So you're saying you want him to go someplace where he can go have mobility to the top right away, right?
Well, that is a problem there. That's
because I will tell you from watching. I'm still a little bit behind on the television shows, but I'm like up to date on the little pay-per-view things.
Yeah.
they're positioning Roosh towards the top.
Well, and that's and of course that that's understandable.
Yeah.
So hey, there's also New Japan.
Yes.
Where, he could make a big splash. He could make a big splash, and like if he got, think of what would happen like if he got pulled into LIJ.
Yeah.
That could be huge.
Yeah, it could be. It could. It'd be
you
interesting if he goes to New Japan. Definitely. Be interesting.
But that's the thing. Is it is if he goes to CMLL, he has that mobility to wrestle in Ring of Honor and in New Japan, and and also even in the Crash.
Oh, true.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing. That might be the better spot. Now they did say that Impact is going to start up their agreement with Noah again.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. But
I think if he goes to Japan, he'll go to New Japan. I don't think he'll mess around. He could do Noah.
That would be because he could still be a junior.
True,
if he's a junior, he wouldn't need a faction.
Yeah, he just run roughshod over everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good.
Ooh, Fantasma versus Ishimori.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
There's so many. God, it's there's a ton of guys. When he comes back, what about Takahashi?
Oh, Bushi, yes, Angie.
Yeah, Bushi.
Yeah, Takahashi. Desperado. Lots of guys.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where it ends up. Bushi, Bushi.
John Gresham.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, John Gresham. Yeah.
And I think it's not been announced or anything, but I think as much as he's been doing little tours with the company, I bet you Cheeseburger is in Best of Super Junior this year.
As long as he brings his entourage, it's all good.
Oh my goodness, Cheeseburger!
I love his entourage. Fucking Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger.
You know what's sad is he wrestles around here. I think he lives in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, he wrestles in little nothing shows.
It'd be cool if he's on the card
all
of
the
Wrestle
time. I need to go see him.
It'd be cool if he's on the card of WrestleCade. You know what I'm saying? Him and his flock.
the Shinobi Shadow Squad or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
More ninjas.
Yeah, more ninjas.
We love ninjas.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody about the show. I was just talking to a customer and we were talking about, the master and all this stuff we were talking about and I think I got us a new listener. They're like, I'm definitely gonna listen to that one.
Yeah.
Ninjas. I'm like, we don't talk about ninjas every week, but
no.
I thought about the ninja episode when I found all those muscle figures recently because the older ones, because I found a little ninja guy amongst there.
Oh, hey, nice. Pedro, you know what you should do? Because you already have your webcomic, you should do another webcomic with all the muscle guys. Have them in poses and shit.
With like pictures?
Yeah. See if you can penetrate the crab style, shit like that.
New Japan Cup is winding down. We got the two finalists. We got Sonata and Okada.
Sonata and Okada. It's all set up for Okada to win this. It's like here it is, and then he's gonna fight Jay White at the G1 in New York at the Garden. You know, if they book it right, it should be done to a 60-minute Broadway. Everybody looks strong in the match. Everybody walks away happy. Have a big rematch in the Tokyo Dome and give Okada the strap. I think that's how you should do it.
It could happen.
Yeah.
I wonder if for the Tokyo Dome, in terms of long-term booking, they're making a big deal about Naito wanting to be the first guy with both the Intercontinental and the IW and the heavyweight.
And the heavyweight, yeah.
I keep wondering if, maybe Naito's going to be in the Tokyo Dome match.
I just want to see Suzuki.
January 4th, yeah. That's what I would expect.
So I could see Okada getting the belt later in the year, or
after Naito, yeah.
No, to set up.
No.
To set up Okada.
Oh, in between. Okay.
To set up Okada versus Naito, because Naito really has to beat Okada at the Tokyo Dome to excise past demons at the Tokyo Dome versus Okada in the main event spot.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a good record against Okada.
Yeah, he's lost twice. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end.
I just want to see Suzuki kick ass. That's all I want to see. Suzuki just run amok.
Well, I mean, he's going to run amok with him and Josh Barnett at Bloodsport coming up.
Yeah,
that's going to be a crazy match.
How many years has he been wrestling? What, over 30, right? He's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he broke into MMA. Back in the early 90s, because some of his earliest fights were against Ken Shamrock.
What's the name of that promotion? I'm trying to remember.
Pancrase.
Yeah.
Pancrase. Yeah, I was never a fan of Shamrock. I thought he was a weekend.
Pancrase was a mix of shoot and not shoot. I'll just leave it at that. But
shoot and not shoot. Yeah.
Some of it was work. Let's be real here. Some of it was work. But
it was the Jim Cornette of MMA. Yeah.
But that goes for a lot of the Japanese shoot promotions. A lot of it has, not a lot of it, but some of it is on the work side. But continue.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, because Pancrase, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's Pancration." Well, no, that really wasn't Pancration,
right?
And so, they had some weird, it was really a mix of fighting and fighting in MMA kind of, and pro wrestling stuff. But
I don't know why, but I was never a fan of Shamrock. All I wanted to do was shave his fucking sideburns off. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan with him in WWE. I definitely wasn't a fan of him when he had the NWA strap. I was like, what kind of ridiculousness is this shit?
I mean, he was a prick.
Yeah.
I mean,
he fucking looks like one.
Yeah,
I was never a fan of this.
Like, did you ever see The Ultimate Fighter when he was coaching against Tito?
No.
That was a great season. It really was. It really, like Tito had his guys, all these great young fighters, and he's got them carrying each other, up flights of steps, like Vern Gagne in the and
and
then
and shit.
Right, and then like when Shamrock would show up to train, his guys, it would be like, all right, everybody, let's go to the living room. We're gonna watch some old fights, and they would like watch like UFC videos, literally, and then he would leave. It's like, wow, what a dick. I mean, you put like nothing into these guys.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he's a prick.
Nothing, and it's like, I mean, Tito, worked with them, and he's like, just a
Well, you
completely.
can't compare Ken Shamrock to Tito Ortiz in the first place. Number one, because I think Tito Ortiz would whip his ass in a heartbeat.
Well, he did 3 times.
There you go. See?
Yeah, they fought 3 times in the UFC, and Tito beat him. Tito kicked the shit out of him for like 3 rounds, and then their first fight, and Tito and Shamrock's corner threw in a towel because he was just he was about to die. He really was. And then in the second fight was like 2 years later.
He was Apollo Creed getting beat up by Ivan Drago.
Then Tito beat him in like a minute and 5 seconds, something ridiculous. And then
God.
Yeah, then they fought one more time. Tito beat the shit out of him again. It's like
they just
had all this bad blood, and like Shamrock wanted to shake his hand at the end of the 3rd fight, and Tito's like, "Fuck you, man! You've been a dick in my you've been a dick in my life way too long." So
his promo sucked when he was in WWE. He kept saying, I could break your ankle for real. I was like, shut the fuck up! It's wrestling, you idiot. To work. Come on.
When I think of Ken Shamrock in the WWE, I always think of this house show I went to in June of '98, and he was wrestling Owen Hart, and I was cheering for Owen Hart, and these rednecks like sitting above me like, "What's wrong with you? Cheering for a Canuck?" It was like, yeah, it's Owen Hart. It's the Blue Blazer.
They really said Canuck?
Yeah, they said Canuck. Yeah. They're like cheering for a Canuck.
They better go back home and walk their dog.
I mean, that's pretty funny because it's like when I think Canuck, I think Vancouver. It's like
right, yeah,
he's from
Vancouver Canucks, yeah.
Hell,
yeah, the Vancouver Canucks.
There's Cowboys in Calgary.
Off the air discussion, but if you want to know the way Texans abuse various slang, like not realizing what the actual meaning of them are, we can get into that off the air.
I could imagine the shit that comes out of your mouth. Oh my God, I'll probably lose it. Oh, brutal.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's of course we got all the crazy shit going down, all that WrestleMania weekend. I mean,
that's a lot of shows in New York that weekend. There's like 4 different shows, right? It's like 4 separate shows going on.
At least
there's more than that.
Yeah. There's more than that.
There's 4 big shows.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sumi Sakai and Hana are gonna face Kagetsu and Hazuki at the Ring of Honor Madison Square Garden show.
Whoa,
nice. That's nice.
So they're gonna be at their own show. They're gonna be at the Stardom show, and then they're gonna go across the block or wherever however far it is down the road to Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be insane. That's insane. That's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at
I hope that show is going to be streamed, right? It has to be streamed, that show.
Yeah, it's going to be on Ring of Honor, and it's going to be on
Fight.
It's going to be on New Japan.
Oh,
okay, cool, perfect.
The fight. It has a ton of stuff that's going to be on those that whole WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it. I honestly thought about going up there. I was like, I'm not strong enough to go on a Roman wrestler fucking trip, and then I got to go to Yankee Stadium to see the Yankees play. It's way too much. Way too much.
Right.
No, because I'm saving up my strength for WrestleCade. 3-day extravaganza. And God forbid I see Halitosis chick down. I hit her in the back of the head with a box of Tic Tacs. Fucking bitch.
They announced for the Crockett Cup, they've announced some panels and meet and greets
Really?
and different things, for earlier in the day. There's like you're going to be able to. They're offering a thing right now. They say the price is gonna go up sometime in April, but it's like $150, and I'm just like going, cheese on bread, man. I that's a lot, but I'm.
What do you get for $150?
Well, you get a meet and greet with Billy Corgan, and you get to meet Billy Corgan and Jim Cornette, and get your picture taken with the Crockett Cup. There's stuff with you get to meet and greet Nick Aldis and Jazz, and I'm thinking that there might be a NWA women's title match that night as well. Not
that
sure.
show is going to be like a 5-hour, 6-hour show.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I was thinking. Going along with kind of the tradition of the Crockett Cup is they would hand out some automatic first round buys. So,
Gotcha.
right. So if this is a 12-team tournament, okay, then the lower 8 teams would have 4 matches to go up against the 4 teams with the first round buys.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Right. And then we'd have a semifinal and a final. That's only 11 matches.
Only 11.
Right, but conversely, if they do 16 teams, that's 15 matches, and that's going to be a long goddamn night.
And you still have Aldis against the Mighty Scroll too. Remember that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if we can get 12 teams, that could be, like 4 American, 4 CMLL, 4 New Japan teams.
Yeah.
Shout out to J-Bone.
Otherwise, it's going to be 8 teams.
What's up, J-Bone?
7 matches.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because that's going to be. You better pack a peanut butter and deli sandwich and a fucking juice box and get ready to sit on your ass for 5 hours. It's going to be brutal. Yeah. Jesus.
Take any moment to jump up and celebrate anything just for the exercise.
Yeah.
Get the blood going.
I would stay away from Nick Aldis' bodyguard, though. I would definitely stay away from her.
I like her. I'm sorry she intimidated you, but
she did. Maybe she thought I reminded her of an unruly fan or something. I don't know, but she definitely did not like my look.
Speaking of Nick Aldis, I watched quite a bit of that Ring of Honor 17th anniversary show from last week.
Yeah, Pedro, how was that?
And the show, what I saw was pretty good, but about him specifically, he is pretty good on commentary. I have to say, I know that's a weird thing to say, but he is actually a pretty good commentator. If the wrestling thing doesn't work out, he actually is a very, very good commentator. So.
Are you that impressed with him in the ring?
No, I've never been impressed with Magnus / Nick Aldis. No. In the ring, but I mean he's trying hard.
Capable. He's very capable, but is he spectacular? No,
he doesn't have that next level. He can't take a match to the next level. So
he doesn't spark excitement for me. And like, it's Nick Aldis, okay, Right,
but he's exactly what the NWA people want.
Yeah. After Cody Rhodes, they're like, no,
Well, it's not that. It's just to be somebody that's the polar opposite of some of these people running around. But so there's also.
Do they put the belt on? Do they think they put the belt on Marty Scurll at the Crockett Cup? No, right? No,
I wouldn't say no.
Do that. Really?
I don't know.
Well, but the question with Marty Scurll, he's in the Ring of Honor title match at the Madison Square Garden, and then he's at that NWA title match at the Crockett Cup. So which does he get? One? Does he get none of them? Does he get both? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Jesus, wouldn't that be crazy if he ended up with both of them?
Oh my God, that'd be something.
I mean, I would, I mean, he's got backup. I mean, he could get a little help here and there.
Yeah.
God, that would be so funny just to see him win it especially at the G1 Supercard and all those Kingdom girls crying.
Oh, you mentioned the halitosis lady. Apologies to her. I don't know. But Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis at one point during the Matt Taven Jay Lethal match from that Ring of Honor show last week, he said he kept calling the crowd mouth breathers, and they were and the other commentators were getting on his case about it, and he said, I'm just saying some of these people have questionable breathing. and made me think of the halitosis lady because Matt Taven is in the match that this is going on.
See, I'm not the only one. I'm telling you.
The Colt Cabana is really good on commentary.
Yeah, he's good all the way around. I've always had a little soft spot for Colt Cabana. He was. I used to love him at Matt Classic. He was awesome.
I mean, he's an American Toriano, but he's a comedy guy. But I mean, on the mic, he's really solid. He was commentating, some of the New Japan Cup matches and things, or not the New Japan Cup, but some of the stuff that happened right before the Cup. And I was like, man, he's really. I mean, he flows in and out with the other people. I mean, he's like working with guys. I don't know how much he ever worked with Kevin Kelly, but I mean, he's got a real knack for that.
Yeah.
Colt Cabana, I will say, watch that match he had against Zack Sabre Jr. He approaches it in almost the best way to approach a match with Zack Sabre Jr. If you haven't seen that,
they were talking about that match because they actually said that it was a really good match between the both of them.
Well, it's just, Zack Sabre Jr. has a problem selling with his face, right?
Fuck Gumby.
Like, he just, sometimes he'll touch his body where he hurts or whatever. So he's trying to put the idea that he's telling, but his face shows nothing. His face is like he's like, what am I going to eat tonight or something? But,
yeah.
But
I'm still pissed at him for no selling Ishii's move. Wrestle Kingdom.
But if you watch the match against Colt Cabana, they shape a narrative in the match where it's like he doesn't have to sell. Like, Colt Cabana does all of the selling. You'd have to see it. He sets it up where it's like he's trying to annoy Zack Sabre Jr., which is something he does like naturally with his face anyway. So he like played into his weaknesses, made them strengths in that specific match. It's a good match to watch.
Yeah. Whoop de fucking do.
Don't be damn it.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler, and like, I love what he does in the ring. I just can't get past that. Like, you sell. I mean, sell, because like you said, Pedro, because he's thinking about dinner for tomorrow. I'm gonna have pancakes for breakfast. Like, what the fuck? I mean, sell.
Well, I mean, he can learn it because people have forgotten that at one point Okada,
he's got permanent resting bitch face. I mean, this guy's brutal.
But people have forgotten that at one point Okada had the nickname of Robot Okada because he just didn't emote shit. Like, he just kind of hit stuff, and when he was taking offense, he just kind of like like no emotion, no anything.
Yeah.
Like, people had forgotten that he had a long stretch where he was Robot Okada. But look at him now. You would never. You've totally forgotten that Robot Okada ever existed.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even know that. You see, because he's good now. He sells,
and
especially when he's getting his ass kicked.
You know who also has the robot tendency was Finn Balor when he was in NXT. He was like, we used to call him Finnbot because he would just be like you just have to watch his NXT stuff. He emotes so rarely. He just like
Yeah. Yep, and then Braun Strowman got a hold of him, and then he really showed emotion after getting tossed around the ring like a rag doll. Yeah. He showed it then. His face was red. He was like, oh shit.
and then the booking got a hold of Braun Strowman and showed him.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. Oh, my God, man. That's what frustrates me about WWE. They have everything, and then they fuck it all up, you know?
Yeah, Braun Strowman's not great in the ring, but he was legit. He was legit super over for a period.
Yeah,
like
he was.
He was on the precipice of like that breakout thing.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, people are into him. Make him job to Brock more, so we build up Brock even more for when Roman beats him finally. And you're like,
and then he jobbed to Brock in under 30 seconds, or
he jobbed to Brock repeatedly, not just once, repeatedly.
Oh, that was horrible. Under a minute, he lost. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Yeah. I'm watching this match in Dubai for this shit.
Oh,
that was brutal.
Did we discuss the Rey de Reyes card?
No.
That was last Saturday night.
I missed it. I missed it.
So, of course, unfortunately, we didn't get a Hijo del Fantasma, send off.
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle that night. That
would have been the perfect time to do it too.
Yeah, and so Cody Rhodes showed up and announces the working agreement, and then Conan and Taurus and some other people come in the ring, and they're gonna beat him up, and and Cody Rhodes like, I'll come back to Mexico and wrestle Taurus, and it's just kind of a weird, it's kind of a really weird first opponent for Cody. But I mean, the crowd popped for Cody. They knew who the fuck he was. That's for sure.
That's good.
And then, but like, the Penta and Phoenix won the tag belts. And as soon as they won the match, the lights went out, and then the lights turned on, and the Young Bucks are standing in their face.
Who booked this? Paul Heyman?
Yeah. And so then they had a match right then. And so the Penta and Phoenix have got to be like the shortest reigning, AAA tag team champions of all time, because they were like, tag. It must have been like 11 minutes. And then the Bucks beat them. And I think the crowd was kind of emotionally tired because they didn't seem to know the Bucks, because they were not, they weren't ready for that second match.
Right.
That match on top of a match, and it's just, so, I don't like, they've got a good roster in AAA. I don't enjoy their style of wrestling. It's so much, it's just they're so blatant about breaking the rules constantly. It's just like, well, who the fuck cares? It's like you're either a hardcore, company, or you're not. But you're not, because you won't let the baby faces do whatever they want, but you'll let the heels do whatever they want. And
I still got nightmares from that Triple Mania card we watched. Brutal.
Exactly. And that was something they talked about a little bit last night with Fantasma. And of course he's gracious, and he's polite, and he says all the right things, and he says that was a big moment for him. And I'm just like, well, the lead up to Fantasma losing his mask is shit.
Oh, yeah. They were putting that over last night, and I was thinking like everything was bad.
I mean, the whole match was bad. I mean, like, you know, Penta and Psycho Clown, God, they were like, get us the fuck out of here. You know? You know, and they're, you know, it's like, and I'm just like, you know, that whole thing just sucked, and the premise sucked, the main event sucked, and it sucked him losing the damn, you know, losing his mask like that. I mean, and I don't mind him. You know, he seems to be really well adjusted. You know, not having the mask anymore.
Yeah, but how many times they're gonna do that gimmick? It's the same thing over and over. You know, how many times he's gonna rip his mask? How many times he's gonna lose it? How many times they're gonna, you know, like, come on already, enough's enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's just
brutal.
You know, between, you know, whatever issues, you know, because I mean, Conan and Vampiro are working together.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's like, you know, part of me wishes, like, all right, look, you know, you got to get rid of one of these two guys, because
that's a clash of egos right there.
Right, because the wrestling itself is suffering. This I mean, they don't really even do lucha libre. It's more like it's more like Memphis, you know, where everybody punches and kicks and bleeds and shit.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, I mean, because you know, how often do you get to see a great lucha style match? I mean, you know, shit, WCW had better fucking lucha libre matches than AAA does.
That's brutal. Brickhouse Brown versus Jerry Lawler.
Right. You know, and so what's going to happen in that match? Well, it's going to be a headlock. Trade headlocks, trade a couple arm drags, and then in the next 15 minutes, it's going to be nothing but punching each other, blading, and you know, and then Memphis fans are going to tell me how great, you know, Jerry Lawler was. You know, 5 foot fucking 8, you know, with 3-inch lifts underneath his fucking boots, and you know, well, he was a champion 264 times. In Memphis, in the city of Memphis. It doesn't really matter much, you know. You don't wrestle any fucking where else. How many titles you won in WWE, Tubby? None.
His best moment.
Like, this is the guys that had the nerve to tell ECW people that they were short. Like, really?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you're from the land of midgets.
Yeah, he swore himself. Yeah, he swore.
Mm-hmm. Oh God!
If
you're right there, Zeus.
If we ever have Bean on the show, him and I can just go on to a tirade about traditional lucha libre versus what AAA has presented to the world as lucha libre, even through WCW and other things.
Any kind of traditional lucha libre anymore?
Yes. I mean, you can CMLL, IWRG, a few places still do traditional lucha libre, but I mean, they all have booking issues now. That's a constant thing for everyone. Everyone has booking problems at the moment, but
right. But I mean, if you look back and you say, you know, when you can say, wow, you know, Tiger Mask 1 versus Dynamite Kid is a better lucha libre match than anything in the last 10 years.
No.
You know, what does that say? I mean, that's real, because I mean, because real lucha is wrestling hard, you know, hard chain wrestling, holds, and some high flying.
Well, yeah,
you know?
the old, back in the past, I mean, the old lucha libre had like anything. It could be brawling, like the Puestas matches is usually like a big brawl with stuff thrown in, and then the title matches were super technical matches. So yeah, I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that too, but I mean, you know, just saying, like, you know, or so like the CMLL guys that come over for, you know, the Fantastica Mania. I mean, those were good matches, and you got a lot of guys that don't know. You know, there was guys that had never been there before, and you know, wrestling Japanese dudes they'd never met before, and
right,
and they still had, you know, good, you know, fun, exciting matches.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not 15 minutes of yank on my fucking mask. You know, fuck you, chess man. Fuck you, Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, they're shit. You know, they would not have even made it into the LWO in WC. If they'd have been in WCW,
oh my god,
1997, they'd have been like, yeah, like we need you guys to like job for Glacier.
Oh my goodness!
And the Mexicools, yeah.
You suck.
Oh my god! I still remember that promo, James, where Hoovie's like, "We are not Mexicans.
Yeah, we are
Mexicools."
Yeah, I was like, oh.
I was like, no, like, no, like, why are they doing this? This is so horribly offensive.
Oh yeah,
so offensive.
I went to a SmackDown and saw them when they were doing that, and I'm just like, and I'm like, there's so many people that are fine with that, and I'm like looking around, I'm like going,
yeah, right. You feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I'm like, man, this is some bullshit.
Melissa Mortis was awesome. Melissa,
did they pick out the lawnmower, Zeus?
Yeah, they came riding in on the lawnmowers.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, you know, these are guys who are just, you know, just real quality guys, you know, that, you know, from ECW and WCW, and then you're driving lawnmowers to the ring, and I'm like, man, this is some bullshit.
You went from super crazy versus Tajiri and into this. That's horrible.
Yeah, you know, I saw Super Crazy at this Raw taping in '98, in October, November, whenever it was in '98, where they filmed the Los Super Astros before the show. Right.
Yeah.
And so I saw him wrestle Negro Casas like on that thing, but I think I've mentioned the Negro Casas thing before because.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I think I mentioned it before because his music started and people were like, "Oh, this song sounds cool," and then he comes out and he was in the little tight shorts and it was that period of time he was wearing the little boots, like he wasn't wearing the full ring boots, he's wearing the little boots, and all these people started just laughing their ass off at him, and I was like, "Y'all are laughing at Negro Casas." Like, but they, you know, a bunch of rednecks in Houston, you know, they don't know.
They don't know.
Well, you know, the whole thing. You remember because when WWF, you know, was bringing in luchadors, and you know they had like, you know, heavy metal and El Connect, and like, and you know, it's like somebody just, you know. It's like somebody farted, you know, in the arena because nobody knew what to do. It's like, you know, the announcers, you know, were terrible at saying the names. They didn't know what the moves were. They didn't know what the hell was, you know, remotely going on. They're just like, well, this is how people in Mexico do pro wrestling, and I'm like, you know, it's really bad when WCW, you know, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, you know, all through the, you know, all the bad stereotypes you think the South is famous for, you know, but, you know, WCW did luchadors better than, you know, WWE ever has, you know, and
and hands down,
you know, and, you know, if it hadn't been for Ray and Eddie, they wouldn't have, you know, people they have now.
Yeah, but you know who was over in WCW?
They wouldn't have signed him.
Huh? Yeah, but Zeus, you know who was over in WCW? He was really over in WCW. Remember when La Parker came in WCW?
Oh, yeah.
He was over. He was over, man. Fans were going crazy for him.
He was still pretty good then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, God, it's, you know, it's like 25 years ago.
Yeah. La Park can still be really good to this day. It's just he has to be motivated, and it has to be versus Roosh. It seems like that's the only person he gets super motivated to do stuff against.
Brutal.
Yeah, and I mean it. Yeah. Oh, and from the chat, we're talking Canyon, Mortis, and Super Blue Nova.
Yeah. I was saying, yeah, I remember how many moves did those two guys innovate back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh my God, how many moves did Hurricane steal from Nova?
Oh man,
Yeah.
You know, him and Kidman both. I mean, you know, fucking, you know, I mean the whole thing with the Hurricane is like, you know, you really ripped off, you know, Nova.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, Nova was doing like that
was
you know,
gimmick infringement,
2015 type of outfits and ideas that, you know, back then. I mean, he got single-handedly ruined in WWF too.
Simon Dean or whatever the fuck they call him.
Oh God, it was terrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
That's almost as bad as Giant Teeth Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh, horrible.
But I love, you know, that was the whole thing with you know, Mortis and Wrath would have been perfect in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like Canyon, man. I thought he was good in the ring, man. He was really good. He could go, you know.
Canyon was really good. It's too bad, you know what.
He was in a shitty gimmick, and you know, it was you know like who's better than Canyon gimmick, and after that he went downhill.
You know that may have been a lame gimmick, but he still did. I mean, he did pretty well with the gimmick. I mean,
he embraced it. He embraced it, and people.
Yeah, but after Mortis, you don't want to see that. Yeah, but after Mortis, you don't want to see that. You know, I mean,
there was
such a separation. I don't think many people really realized that was Mortis.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Do y'all remember?
I mean, it's like Wrath going to, you know, being Brian Clark in Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no stigma there, and I mean, he was the Night Stalker before that.
Yeah. Oh my God! You remember that, Zeus?
Yeah, I remember when he went after Sid Vicious's ribs with that giant wooden battle axe.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! Oh Jesus! You forget about all these things that are taking place, and you're like,
I know.
My God, you remember that?
See, all right. Here's the thing. It's like it's it had to have been like 19. It was in the late 90s, and Chronic was a thing, and they were on a local radio show in North Carolina, and and I called in, and you know, they were like, call in if you got questions, and I said yeah, and I was expecting one of the announcer, you know, one of the people from the show to answer, and it was their manager apparently. He's like, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, well, I want to ask, you know, Brian Adams about working in Pacific Northwest, and I want to ask Brian Clark about, you know, getting squashed by Kevin Nash for no damn good reason. He's like, hang on, we're gonna put you on next. But then he didn't get my name. He didn't ask for my name. So when they were like, caller, go ahead, you know, and they're like, I'm like, you mean me? And they're like, come on, caller. He's like, the tag team name is Chronic. Are you smoking Chronic? I'm like, haha, very funny. But yeah, I remember I asked him about, you know, it's like, you know, the meltdown was that was a really cool move, and it's like you were heading, you know, up toward, you know, maybe a U.S. title shot or something, and then, you know, then Kevin Nash decides, oh, I'm gonna beat you and squash all your heat. Yeah. Take away all your pops and stuff and put you back down because I'm a dick.
Kevin Nash is the most overrated. He's one of the most overrated big men of all time. I don't know why he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. Only because he was the first. He was the first wrestler to get people guaranteed contracts. Okay, fine, but you haven't done.
Actually, a lot of people were saying that was on Brian Pillman.
Really?
Yeah, because he went the whole thing with when he went to WWF. You know, he had to get, you know, he had to actually talk. He had to talk Bischoff into actually letting him out of his contract. He's like, nobody's going to believe this thing if they know I'm still under contract. He's like, I'll just resign, you know, new deal with you. He's like, but you guys got to let me go so this, you know, so people will actually believe, you know, that I'm the loose cannon I'm the free agent. I can go anywhere, and it's going to be, great when I come back. And then he went right to WWF and said, "Look, I need $500,000 guaranteed, for 3 years." And apparently Undertaker was pissed about it because it's like if you were hurt for more than like 30 days, they could let you go.
Yeah.
And so, it's like Pillman was the one to really start the big contract thing. But Nash,
big lazy.
He played basketball with Dale Ellis. Okay.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know who the fuck that is. Dale Ellis was the NBA 3-point champion for a long time until Reggie Miller finally broke it. But they played at University of Tennessee in like 1978. Yeah. So he's old as fuck.
His knees held up then. Yeah.
No, because that's when his knee problems started because he got cut off.
Then. Idiot.
Look,
I
Kevin Nash.
I was never a fan.
Kevin Nash was a good-looking, super tall guy, and
a wise ass.
Yeah, I mean, he has charisma. I'm not going to say he doesn't have charisma. Right. He has a lot of charisma.
No, he does.
So,
he does.
I mean,
he just doesn't have any ring technique.
Yeah, it's just he had the right friends and all that kind of stuff. It just worked out for him.
Yeah,
fuck him. He's another one on my list.
Well, once again, I tell people when they get upset about the Hall of Fame, I'm like, well, it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Greatness. The fame means famous.
Yeah.
And he was very famous. He was, he was big as Diesel, but he became even bigger, in WCW, and then
the NWO and all that.
Yeah. So
I remember arguing. I had a huge argument. With this girl I was seeing at the time, right?
Oh my goodness!
She was like, "Kevin Nash started the NWO. That's what he'll always be famous for." I said, "He didn't start it. It was the angle in New Japan Pro Wrestling." Okay,
they started it. That's why they were able to.
No, they didn't do that shit in Japan. I'm like, oh my god! I was searching, I was scouring all my tapes to see if I could find it. I was like. She pissed me off. It was Kevin Nash. He started the whole thing. Hulk Hogan didn't want to turn heel. I was like, oh my God, what are you talking about? They had Hogan turning heel for months. And we're looking for a way to implement it. Oh my God. I was like, this was it. I couldn't.
James, let me tell you something. For a lot of people, there's a lot of wrestling fans who, if it didn't happen in the WWE or WCW or something like that, it didn't happen. So
that's so frustrating.
You're not kidding, Pedro. I mean,
it's horrible.
That's it's like somebody follows me and it's all they like is WWE shit. It's like, I'm not following you. I got way too many people that post that shit anyway. It's like people are like, well, you really know a lot about even what's going on in WWE. It's like I read it. I'm scanning. I'm looking for the good shit, but I still, it's like I can't help if I read well.
It's not that hard to follow either, Zeus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
NXT is so much better, man. Even the storylines are better. The matches are 10 times better. Everything's just better.
Yeah, but James, I've been thinking lately that the problem with NXT and NXT UK and all that is you watch that stuff and you're like, man, XYZ can be so good. Like they should be massive. And then when they get to the main roster, you feel like you've been lied to or something. Like, you haven't. Of course, it's just the booking and presentation and just whatever, but it's that main roster audience is so apathetic towards the NXT brands. It's almost like, oh, please don't go. Like, I know you want them to get the money, but
look what they did to the revival. They totally buried the revival. Horrible.
Just think about tag team wrestling in general. Think of all the great tag team matches. They're not the greatest tag team matches of all time, but think of all the, in modern terms, great tag team matches they've had in the NXT brands.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then they come to the main roster, and there is no replication of this at all.
Undisputed Era should never leave NXT. Undisputed Era should stay in NXT. Adam Cole, everybody should stay in NXT. Don't.
You know, it's kind of like where Jerry Lynn used to talk about
Mr. JL.
Yeah, like how he used to get the crowd excited, but then Hogan and the other guys in the back would be bitching about, man, this guy. It's like he's getting all these people excited and shit, and it's like I can't go out there and do that shit he does. It's like, well, go out there and be you fucking dick.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Zeus. I'd rather see fucking Jerry Lynn against RVD the ECW days than any Hulk Hogan fucking match. Okay, they put on a clinic. Those guys, a clinic, absolute poetry. And then you get Hogan with the super leg drop, boom.
And here's the thing too. It's so funny. It's like, so he got pushed down in WCW. Pushed down. Told not to do this, told not to do that, and then he gets to ECW, and then he works his way up into that feud, and then he actually they overbooked them.
Yeah,
yeah, they were everywhere
because
they were every single card. Yeah.
Well, not just that really, but the fact that they put the TV title as the world heavyweight title,
over the world title
in ECW.
Yeah,
you're right.
Which is like where I asked Jerry, I was like, was Taz pissed off about that? I never heard anything. Oh, that's some bullshit from
Taz is a little bit.
But really, I mean, so it's like he helped elevate the secondary title to the main event.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Zeus. I 100% agree. Yes.
Yeah, and they did. So that's a great credit to him. And to the some semi common sense booking there by ECW.
Yeah. Oh man, the good old days. Even the crowds are different. Even the crowds nowadays are different. I don't know. It's because I'm getting older, but I'm an old man already. I'm an old man already.
We're entering grumpy old man territory.
Well, here's something.
At that Ring of Honor show, I was like, "Yo, you got these guys are killing it in the ring." And you guys are worried about posting on Instagram?
Dude,
watch the fucking match, man.
James,
it's awesome.
James, I saw this at my Ring of Honor show in Houston. I saw what you're talking about, and when I watched the playback on Fight TV of that show, I saw people sitting in the front row, looking at their cell phones.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
You watch any of those Ring of Honor shows, there's that one they had last week, though, I was talking about earlier. There's this amazing match between Jeff Cobb and Shane Taylor. They beat the fuck out of each other. And people are just there are people looking at their devices and all this stuff.
Horrible.
Matt Taven. I don't like Matt Taven, okay? But Matt Taven and Jay Lethal go to a 1 hour draw, and it becomes this this awesome match. By the end, I'm just I'm freaking out.
He's a great wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He just happens to be a dick.
And people are looking at their devices. There are people yawning and all this shit. I'm oh my God.
I'm talking about. Remember when I sent you guys the pictures of me in the front row?
Yeah.
Right? That was the last time I pulled out my phone until after the show. I had my phone in my back pocket the entire time. Only when I snapped the picture of Juice Robinson was right in front of me. I said, "Ooh, snap!" But I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't posting. I wasn't doing all that shit. I was clapping. I was yelling. I was screaming. All the people around me were dead. They were dead.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about, oh, did you see that WWE pay-per-view the other day? I'm like, dude, look what's in the fucking ring. You got the
here's the
Briscoes
thing.
kicking ass, man. What's wrong with you?
Hitch, John over at Parts Unknown, he brought up a really good point. When WWE bought WCW, a huge majority of the WCW fans just stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And so, you know, these people who, you know, these companies who are trying to bring back that closer to that style, you know, they lost out on fans. And so they've been able to bring newer, you know, some new good fans along, and, you know, some, you know, casual fans and things. But, you know, the death of WCW was really, it was horrible for wrestling fans.
I agree.
You know? And it was just, you know, because we lost a lot of fans. There's people just said, fuck it, I'll just watch wrestling. I'll just watch MMA. I'll just watch, you know, something else. Because they didn't want to watch, you know, WWF, because they were just, you know, engrossed in that style of wrestling. You know, and they didn't care about the people that they, you know, that they built up. You know, everybody had to be on steroids. Let's not lie. In WWF, you know, everybody was on steroids.
Yeah.
You know, and they were being given steroids. I mean, Vince was giving people steroids. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
He was handing them out like fucking Tootsie Rolls,
right. You know, or he's sending them.
He was taking them himself. He was taking them himself.
Of course he was. Yeah, he was jacked like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, but people got tired of it. You know, people didn't want to see that, and that's why they weren't watching it, you know, in the first place. And, you know, the Monday Night Wars, you know, the problem was they were trying to, you know, they were all trying to win. You know, it's like, no, we just need you to keep on going, because, you know, the big influx of fans from the Monday Night Wars were like college frat boy jocks, you know, that type of, you know, high school football player, you know, that group mentality, that was the huge influx. And some of their girlfriends got into it.
Oh no. We lost
Zeus.
Zeus. He generated too much lightning.
Zeus again.
He got so angry. He like, pow.
He short circuited his phone with a bolt of lightning.
He's like,
Zeus.
He's like, ah.
You crackly bastard. Stop touching things when you're on fire. What's wrong with you?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
He's probably trying to find his way back.
I know. That. Oh, my God. Yeah, maybe I have to send him another invite. I don't know.
Oh man, but I totally understand what Zeus was saying. You know, I better shut up before I get shocked through osmosis or something. You know?
Oh my God, that'd be weird if there's just like one of us left on this thing.
Last man standing. Fucking Zeus.
I sent him another invite. Okay. Oh my goodness.
He comes back.
Yeah. The good old days.
The good old days. I mean, you know, everybody was sitting on their hands. Everybody was posting pictures on Instagram. Everybody was talking.
James.
Like, brutal, man.
There we go. Zeus. We were like, you got so angry.
Hey.
Yeah.
Why the hell's my face on there?
Yeah, your face is on there, Zeus.
But yeah, so I mean, you know, just it's just the way that Southern style wrestling has never really recovered from the death of WCW.
No.
Yeah.
No. I agree.
James, to what you're saying about the crowds, real quick, have y'all been to concerts in any year recently?
Not recent, but yeah, I used to go.
Oh man,
I haven't been in a long time. I haven't been to a concert in a long time.
I mean, I remember Stephanie and I went to see Depeche Mode in 2013.
Woo!
And the crowd was like they're just talking, partying, like they weren't paying attention to Depeche Mode, like
I don't understand
performing.
people.
And then
all they wanted to do is say, "I was there."
Yes, they were just taking pictures of themselves there. And then, like when we saw Foo Fighters last year on Stephanie's birthday, and like it was the same thing. People just wanted to take pictures and show that they were there, and they're just hanging out and talking. And it's like Foo Fighters hadn't played in the Houston area for like 8 years, and it was like, what are y'all doing? Like, there's this awesome concert going on. But yeah,
idiots.
We're grumpy old man. That's the way it was in our day, and we liked it.
It's sacrilege. You shouldn't give any of these kids wrestling tickets anymore. See, thank God I don't have kids. Because if I had a son or a daughter, they'd be glued to the TV and be watching only quality wrestling programs that I show them. Okay? They would get into it. I'll have them watching New Japan. I'll have them watching old school ECW, Lucha Underground. And they would be loving it too.
You gotta hand it to Google, because you say things too loud, and it gives it to you on your computer. Because I was just saying earlier about Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid. Well, that's like they got a whole subset on New Japan World of Madison Square Garden, and the very first match that is available on the site is Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid from Madison Square Garden, 1980, 1982. Gino Brito against Heavy Gino Brito against Fujinami, Inoki versus Bobby Duncum, Fujinami versus Don Diamond. CG Sakaguchi against the Wild Samoan #1. The Samoans are coming to WrestleCade also.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the original Samoan.
Holla.
Afa and Sika, yeah.
Afa and Sika, I love them. I've always loved them.
And Haku. We could have a Tongan death party.
Yeah, there'd be a Haku there. Hold on. I want to see Haku get into a fight.
God, I don't.
Who will he kill?
I'm gonna slap Haku in the back of the head, and then I'm gonna point to Zeus. Say it was him.
You better not. I'm not gonna be the new Jimmy Jack Stone. I'm not losing my fucking eyeball.
Shit, yeah.
Not losing my damn eyeball at fucking.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jimmy Jack Funk. Remember that shit? Oh my God, that was brutal.
I pointed at Matt Taven.
There you go.
The wise end with the mohawk over there.
Yeah.
Scoop his eyeball out with your finger.
Make sure to yell, "You Melvin," when you do it, so then he'll believe that it's that.
I got called a Melvin the other day. Some halitosis princess.
Oh my God.
I'm like, he's as bad as he's as ugly as his fucking, lavender busted belt that Jay Lethal beat the shit out of.
Oh my goodness!
I loved it when Jay Lethal busted up the belt, man. I was watching it. He was doing it right there. I was there. I was screaming for him, like, yes. I was like, break it, slam it. He picked out, like, he had all kinds of shit. I was loving it. He tied himself out. He tied himself out from breaking the belt. He did. He was all winded and shit. He was done. I was like, damn.
That must have been a good replica then.
Yeah, it was, man. He was beating the shit out of it. It wouldn't break. And then finally, he just said, fuck it. And he took his belt out. I don't know what he took. He took a big bat or some shit. And he just crushed the fucker.
They used a bat. They used an axe. They used Marsalia's axe.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's actually called a maul, because it's a sledgehammer on one side and an axe on the other.
Yeah, really? That's what it is? Well, he used it.
There you go.
I mean, that was savage.
Yeah.
Wow. I was laughing my ass. off, and the halitosis chick didn't say nothing. She was like, "No, don't do it. How could you?" How dare you? Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, really.
Apologies to the halitosis princess, as y'all put it out there. We apologize. One day she's going to hear about this, and we're all going to get in trouble.
You know what? I'll suplex the chick. I don't give a shit. Okay, come on.
Oh my god. I want to thank everyone in the chat room: Melissa, Andy, J Bone, everyone.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us today as we just talked shit. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had no real topic today. We talked mixtapes, records,
and a lime green boombox.
Where my HDF go?
Yeah. Actually, Meef getting a chubby in the UK.
All right.
Are we gonna like do a Lego episode?
Yeah, we should.
Well, I mean, I'm saying because we can have Melissa on if we do.
We can have her on for Lego.
Actually, we can do like toys.
Oh yeah, toys. I mean,
toys. Yeah,
she's another big kid.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Her Lego.
Her Insta is like so many cool eclectic toys. It's amazing. So
that's awesome. I'm gonna have to break out my collection of board games.
Yeah, we'll have to do toys in the future at some point. But we'll see everyone next week. And adios.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Everybody have a good weekend. Peace.